Okay, so we talked about how to use thread pitch micrometers in class. So this is just going to be kind of a refresher and maybe answer some of your questions. So this is the thread pitch micrometer. It's a SHARS, which means basically junk. I've also got a Fowler here. It's supposed to be a Fowler. Fowler is supposed to be a pretty decent brand name. However, you'll notice it looks identical to the SHARS in a lot of ways. Same paint, same plastic, same frame. This Fowler is actually a digital micrometer, and only digital in the sense that it has a digital moving scale, so you can read digits. It's not electronic digital. So that's just kind of an interesting twist, though I don't think the quality is any better than the piece of junk SHARS that we have. So let's talk about how to use a thread pitch micrometer. These are going to be a direct read instrument, so that we don't have to do any mathematics. Once it's set up correctly, we can read directly the pitch of a thread. So the starting place for using a thread pitch micrometer is we have to know the size and, well, actually just a thread count on a bolt. So I've got a bolt here and I've measured it and it came out to 0.746. So we're going to assume that that's a 3/4 bolt, and then I put a pitch gauge on it and it comes out to 10 threads per inch. So this is a 3/4 10 bolt, and we're going to measure the pitch diameter on this. So the first step in using a thread pitch micrometer is we have to know that pitch, because it's got a set of several different little anvils that we need to select from. So I've got multiple different ones here and they're all numbered. So one set of anvils will actually do several different thread pitch. So I'm going to look for a set of anvils that, and they have a range that will encompass the 10 threads per inch that I have on this bolt. So I look through and I find that I have two of them that say 9 to 13 TPI. So I've found a 9 to 13 V and a 9 to 13 peak. So maybe you can consider one's a peak, one's a valley, and they kind of fit together. You don't want a peak and a peak. You want a peak and a valley. Okay, so I take these are 9 to 13. I open my thread pitch micrometer up large enough that I can insert this little anvil end into it, push it all the way down. It doesn't really matter which one's on top, if it's the peak or the valley. It just really doesn't matter. And then I'm going to put my other one down in the bottom here. So I've inserted this and I've inserted this. Okay. So now I'm going to bring this all the way back to 0. I've unlocked. It's got 2 locks on this micrometer. I've unlocked one side and I've unlocked the other side. So now this back can float. And I'm going to bring this micrometer all the way down to the 0 setting on it. Okay, you see this little end is spinning here. That's not a real problem. It can rotate in there. I'm gonna go ahead and flip it around so I can see, and I'm going to bring her all the way to 0. And I don't really need to tighten it down. It's just this indicator is a little, or micrometer is a little jacked up. Okay, so I've got it on 0 here. And I'm going to go ahead and lock that just so it doesn't move. Now I make sure that that peak goes into that valley, and then I take my finger, and remember this back end is not locked down, so it can float. So I'm going to push it, and I'm going to look very carefully and notice that it completely closes that gap. One locks into the other. And while my finger is applying light pressure, I'm going to go ahead and lock that down. Okay, so now that's technically set, but let's see. I'm going to move it away. I'm going to unlock this end, move it away, and then I'm going to bring her right back. And sure enough, it comes back to 0. Okay, so this pitch micrometer is now set up to do a number 10 thread. It actually can do a number 9, 10, 11, 12, or 13, because these anvils say 9 through 13. But we've got it set up, and we're going to use it to check our number 10, or 10 TPI 3/4 10 bolt. Okay, so now it's just a simple micrometer use. So I'm going to open her up until I get the right size for this bolt to slip in there. And then I bring the bolt in. The little wedge value goes around 1, and then the peak goes in the other. And then I carefully bring it down. And I have to move the part a little back and forth until I can find that high spot where it's just high enough. Okay. Not a bad idea to check a thread in several places along the bolt, maybe 2 or 3 at minimum, just to make sure everything's reading correctly. And then I can read this micrometer exactly like I would a normal micrometer. And it doesn't read the diameter, the large outside. It doesn't read the minor. It reads the pitch diameter on the inside. Okay, so that's how you use a pitch micrometer. We went over it in class, and this is just kind of a refresher. Yeah, and you record your results on your homework page, and that's how we do this.